now this Saturday, talkSPORT, we bring you, wow, it's a huge night of boxing.
To the winner by majority decision.
Last 10 seconds.
Look at this. Bivol's trying. They're both trying, aren't they? The referee has to split them up. Was that second time in the fight only?
Gentlemen.
Bivol, Beterbiev, take your hats off to both of them.
And now the unified, undisputed world champion.
I've got 114, 114.
Yeah.
Oh my days, this is horrific, isn't it?
116, 114. Beterbiev for me is the winner. This is close, guys.
Arthur!
Classic. Exactly what we was expecting.
But I do think we need to see a second fight.
Off balance and scores the knockdown. Does Beterbiev.
This isn't the card of the year. It's not even the card of the decade.
Dubois hits him with a tremendous right-hand counter, and I don't think Joshua's going to get up. Are you ready today?
This is unequivocally the greatest fight card we have ever seen.
Williams into the corner, and they'll stop it. And it's a the captain steps in. Massive right hand from Chile Chang, and down goes Joe Joyce, and he is not going to get up from this.
Whether you're dedicated fans or casual fans, you tune in because you are going to see something exceptional on the 22nd of February.
Let's say a very, very good morning. A man who's put it all together, Eddie Hearn, joins us. Eddie, thank you very much. Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning, boys.
What a night, Saturday night. You reckon, Eddie, this is the best of all time, the best card that we're ever going to witness?
I think so. I mean, I'm glad I'm not putting it on. I'm paying for it because I'd go skin. I mean, it's just absolutely bonkers. Like, every fight on the card is a headline fight in a major arena anywhere in the world. And when we built this card, he just kept going. You know, it was like normally you do like 3 or 4 good fights. He did 7. And it is just like, you know, value-wise for fight fans, you're never going to experience anything like this. So a couple of days to go. We're out here in Riyadh. You know, the sun's out today, so the talkSPORT boys have got their shorts on.
I bet they have.
They don't even want to do this interview. They just want to get around the pool.
I bet.
You know?
Well, and amazingly, the first on the card is your man, Smith. You know, and he's first up. I thought he'd be, you know, normally he'd be one of the highlights, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's a great example of the quality of the card. First fight of the night is Callum Smith against Joshua Buatsi. That is a fight that fills the O2, fills the M&S Arena in Liverpool, and it's on first. It's a 50-50 domestic classic. You know, then you've got Caballero against Zhang. You've got Shakur Stevenson now against Josh Padley. You've got Virgil Ortiz against Madrimov. Hamza Shiraz goes for the world title, you know, at middleweight. And then the World Heavyweight Championship, Dubois against Joseph Parker, is co-main event. To Bivol Beterbiev, which is probably the best fight in boxing. It's bonkers.
Yeah, Eddie, I wanted to ask you about Beterbiev and Bivol, because you were quite vocal on the fact you thought Bivol won the first fight. I agree with you, but have people say, boxing experts, that Beterbiev was maybe more on the front foot. What are you expecting from the rematch?
I think it'll be another really tough fight. I did believe, as I think more people did than didn't, that Bivol won that fight. But it was a close fight, you know, and Beterbiev came really strong in 10, 11, 12. But up until then, I thought Bivol was coasting the fight. And, you know, Beterbiev's going to try and start faster this time. Like, he's like a ticking time bomb. Like, it's how long you can keep him off you, you know. And now it's a situation where Bivol kept him off for 9 rounds. And now he's got to make sure that he's consistent and disciplined and active for the full 12, which is difficult to do. And I think it'll be more aggressive Beterbiev this time. But that might suit Bivol as well. He looks like a little bit of a different animal this time, Bivol, you know, and I believe he's going to do it. But another pure 50-50 fight.
What about Callum? Callum, we spoke to Callum, Eddie, and he looked really, you know, bulky. He looks as if he's bulked up. Is that his normal weight, or is he just a big guy?
No, so Callum was world champion at 168, super middle, and then moved to light heavyweight probably a couple of years ago now. Obviously, in his last fight, well, actually had a run-out fight recently, but before that, he did get stopped for the Unified World Heavyweight Championship against Beterbiev in Canada. And it's a really good fight. You know, I don't think Buatsi's really lit up the world over his last couple of fights, but he's a very good fighter. And for Callum, I think he needed this kind of fight to get the bit between his teeth. He's a huge puncher, but, you know, I guess both guys are kind of like last chance saloon to challenge for the world title. If Boatsy loses, I think he's done. If Callum loses, I think he's done as well, you know, and it's a lot on the line, and there's a lot of pride on the line. You know, it's Liverpool v London, and just a brilliant all-British showdown.
I believe AJ is going to be ringside, and of course Dubois Parker. This is an intriguing one. Dubois was like a man possessed in his last fight, but Parker's no mug, is he, Eddie?
Parker's getting better.
It's honestly a brilliant fight. Like if you know, I've known Joseph for a long time. Lovely guy. And
yeah.
This, like everything in his life is set up perfectly for this moment. Like he's more focused than ever. He's living the life. He's training. His mindset, almost like, you know, his soul. He's walking around. He's so happy with how everything's gone. This is his golden chance. But Dubois, his confidence must be sky high. I mean, he beat Miller. He beat Hrgovic. He beat AJ on the biggest of stages. You never really know with Daniel. You know, like sometimes the head can fall off a little bit when you've won titles and made money, and, you know, you see him out in Brazil enjoying his life. Or you could go the other way and just go to a new level. So I think probably the latter, because I think Daniel is a confidence fighter. You know, the one thing that he's been struggling with over the years is that belief in himself to go through those horrible moments. And he's come through a lot of those now. So I think the first 6 rounds of this fight will be very important. If Parker can keep him busy and keep him honest and, you know, keep just making a few dents in the armoury and making Daniel Dubois question himself, I think Parker could do this in the back half of the fight. I really do. But Daniel punches very hard, and he's going to be full of confidence.
So Parker's got to be patient. He's got to work hard first half a dozen rounds.
You've got to be patient. Yeah, you've got to be patient, but you've got to be active. No, you've got to be patient, but you've got to be active. You can't let Dubois get through 6, 7 rounds and feel great and full of confidence. You've got to make him question himself when he goes back to the stall. Yeah. You know, you've got to chip away. Dubois got a good chin as well. People don't realise. Like, he's not... When he's been stopped before, it's just started to get a bit tough, and he's kind of looked for a way out. I think that's all changed now with Dubois, with his confidence. I think, you know, but I do think you've got to still ask those questions that we've seen before. And to do that, you've got to stay with him. And to stay with him, you've got to have a good chin. And you've got to, you know, you've got to not make mistakes. And that's key.
Eddie, we can't talk to you without talking about Anthony Joshua. Is he definitely going to be ringside? And also, what's next for him?
Yeah, I mean, I just said to Spencer Oliver just then, every interview that I have out here, the first question is Anthony Joshua, Anthony Joshua, Anthony Joshua, Anthony Joshua. It's like, you know, and the honest truth is we've not had any conversations yet about the next fight. And that will begin after this weekend. Okay. The plan and the goal for Anthony Joshua, always, from now to the moment he retires, is to try and win the World Heavyweight Championship, to try and become a 3-time World Heavyweight Champion. So, of course, the other fight, which we know at the moment is not available, is Tyson Fury. He wanted that fight. But if you said to AJ, what do you want to do most next? He would say, I want to fight the winner of Dubois Parker. Yeah. I want another shot at the World Heavyweight title. That's a natural thing. You know, you've got Bacoli, you've got Wilder, you've got the winner of Caballero against Zhang. They're all possible fights, but, you know, you keep hearing about, oh, AJ won't fight this guy and won't fight that guy. Come on, look at his resume. Mm-hmm. Like, when he boxed Alexander Usyk, he gave Usyk the shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. And everyone said to me, oh, don't fight Usyk, don't fight Usyk. It's never my say. AJ wants to fight the best, he wants to challenge himself, and he wants to try and become undisputed. So he had to take care of his mandatory. He gave Usyk the shot at the Kingdom. And he beat AJ, and then everyone went, whatever you do, don't rematch Usyk. Yeah. And he rematched Usyk. You know, when he got stopped by Andy Ruiz, everyone went, whoa, his confidence is shot to pieces. Do not go straight back in with Andy Ruiz. He went straight back in with Andy Ruiz. He doesn't, there's no doubt in AJ's mind about who he's fighting. And he will step back in the ring with Dubois at any moment because he wants the gold. And we've probably only got another year left. 2 fights, 3 fights, max. So we're not, at this stage, it's not like, oh, how do we have a couple of easy fights to end a career? It's like, excuse my French, I won't say the word, but it's like, or bust. Yes. You know? Yeah. It's like we got nothing to preserve. We got nothing to worry about. We got nothing to, hold on to. We got nothing. other than the biggest draw in the division.
Yeah. Eddie,
but we want belts. We want legacy, and he always wants the big fights.
I was listening to some of the names you're talking about there. No mention of the young boy, Moses. I love him, by the way. Whoa. I think he could be...
Moses, Moses
I think he
great,
could be special.
I mean, at the moment, I agree. At the moment, the reality is Moses has boxed absolutely no one of anywhere near world level. But what he has got is unbelievable ability, speed and everything. In the heavyweight game, you never know what you got till you're in a real fight. And you never know what you got till you get hit on the chin properly by a big heavyweight. So all the signs at the moment tell us Moses Atoma is a great star for the future. The reality is he ain't fought anyone with a pulse yet.
Yeah.
But I think
that could happen when? Is that his next fight?
I think he's a future world... Oh, yes. I mean, obviously he's with Frank. I think he's a future world heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
But... now it's going to start getting interesting because he's going to be fighting guys that are actually coming to win.
Well,
and, the heavyweight game out, these big lumps.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, absolutely. What about Wardley then, the Ipswich boy? Would he be a possible for Moses?
Yeah, I mean, again, that's one for Frank. I think that the problem with Moses is, at the moment, the more established guys wouldn't really want to fight kind of like a young prospect who's whatever he is, 8-0, 9-0, whatever he is, like, because he's good. And there isn't a lot of value in fighting Moses. So now I guess Frank will be looking to put him in with the more established names to keep building him as a star. So when you fight Moses, it's a big fight.
Yeah.
But, he's only 20. On one hand, they want to move him quickly because, they want him to be a young world heavyweight champion. On the other hand, he's a kid, And when you get in with a big, horrible 35-year-old slobbering 18-stone geezer who's going to lean all over you and hit you clean on the chin, sometimes it don't work out. So nice and calm, got a great talent, guide him right, and Frank will do that.
Eddie, I wanted to ask you, looking forward to Saturday's card, but what I'm really looking forward to is Conor Benn and Eubank, because I've seen them have a bit on Twitter, with the testing and stuff, having a bit of needle there. How's his training going?
Honestly, I've never seen anyone train like Conor Benn, and I've never seen anyone put in the work. What I've seen, and we live in an age where they like to document their training.
Yes.
Conor Benn is training like a man possessed, right? I think Chris Eubank's on the beach at the minute, and he hits pads for about 30 seconds, and then puts it out on Instagram. Next week, we'll announce today a 2-stop press conference next week, right? You wait till these two come together. I've never seen demand for tickets and people phoning me up and the corporate package registrations that is happening for April 26 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Wow.
This fight, when they come together next week, when the fathers come together next week, this is going to be absolute fireworks. And I'll tell you something now, this is a pure 50-50 fight because of the weight. In my opinion, Conor Benn is on another level to Chris Eubank Jr., but in stepping up 2 divisions, physically, he's at a huge disadvantage. But this young man, when that first bell goes at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on April 26, this young man will come out and set about Chris Eubank like he's never been set about before. He will not know what is happening, where these punches are coming from, and what kind of speed this is I've never experienced.
Eddie,
this fight could be over within 6 rounds.
Wow. Eddie, you see how hot-headed they are as well, both of them, especially Conor Benn. You see, the press conference coming up, you have to say to him, please, don't do anything silly, save it for the ring.
No, because Conor Benn's so wound up. I can't, whatever I say to Conor Benn, he ain't going to listen to me, because when they get face-to-face, mate, all bets are off. Anything can happen. Like Conor Benn, you know what he's like. Yeah. Conor Benn's his father's son.
Yeah.
Conor Benn is Nigel Benn. And the reality is, when they come face to face next week,
can't wait.
He wants it. Conor Benn wants it on site now, not April 26. He's ready to go.
Eddie, one last one. Dad, is he over in Dublin? Is it night 3 with the darts, or is he rested? Well, he doesn't rest, does he?
My old man just sits there at home watching. I mean, we have about 4 different sports taking place every weekend all over the world. So he just sits there watching. He updates his, the box rec. He updates the darts rankings on his little pad at home. He's like unbelievable. I mean, look, darts, obviously, Premier League again this week. I've never seen anything like it out of the darts. I mean, it's just the greatest night of entertainment. Sold out everywhere, ratings through the roof. Luke Littler, I was with him the other night at the Catchall fight. What a lovely young kid. Got his head switched on. He's helping us take the game to another level. And, we got that. We got pool happening around the world. Obviously, we got the boxing going on. We got snooker. It's just like every week, 3 or 4 TV events all around the world. And obviously, my job is Saudi this weekend. But, yeah, we'll be watching the darts tonight for sure.
Eddie, can't wait for Saturday. Thank you very much. Eddie. Enjoy. Thank you, Eddie.
Cheers, boys.
Eddie Hearn there. What a night it's going to be. Whew, brilliant. I've got to watch that. I'm football. I'm Ipswich Spurs, and then I'm straight. Well, I'll be probably to the pub to watch it. Get a bit of atmosphere.
What's good though is that when it's in Saudi, it's not on silly late. Do you know when you used to watch it, the American fight? It's like 3-4 in the morning. So, entertaining weekend of sport ahead.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.